Puente, and this is your video recording. And believe it or not, we have a live class. This is your class, and this is WhatsApp Messenger. In WhatsApp Messenger, we discuss multiple items about the course. It's informal communication. And you can see here Samantha, Alma, Serena, Alexis, Andrea join in. And there's other people here who are participating with me in this discussion. This is their discussion grade. If you feel like you want to make this your discussion grade, instead of the essay you will write this week, join us. And it does give you that credit. Of course, we also will be grading the content of what you're saying, whether it's on WhatsApp Messenger or it's on D2L. But it's a great way for us to promote participation. This course is understanding problem solving. It really is. It's all about decisions. And we're starting very, very late. And that's because we've had issues with nature, of course, and we've been hit very, very hard. So if you've been somewhat affected by this hurricane, I am very, very sorry. There are measures that the Lone Star College Kingwood can help you with. They've told me multiple times, please tell them about it. So I'm going to tell you tonight. There are measures. Contact me, I could probably guide you to them. However, the other thing I could show you is how to make decisions. And in this storm, we took decisions. Every one of us did. How to make those decisions is what this class is about. Let me tell you, one of the things this class is not about is gut intuition. And we'll explain that more and more. Okay? So for those who are out there, if you guys could type some maybe ideas on what decisions you took during the storm, please add them and I'll tell them to the class for the video. Okay? And we'll start with a chapter introduction. A professional in any occupation is or should be a problem solver. I think that is correct. At the end of the day, that's why you're a professional. Decisions. Some people work with their hands and make decisions with their hands. Some make a decision with their head. Okay? This doesn't mean good or bad. Absolutely not. It just means that you are absolutely making a course of action and there's a value to that course of action you're putting together. Hey, Dina says, decided to stay home and not evacuate. I understand, Dina. Hopefully you could put that into our decisions class chat group, Dina, by the way. You absolutely can. Just go, you've already been at it, and then you can kind of just talk through there to the class. Okay? Let's see. Thank you for that, Dina. Appreciate it. And let's keep going and see what else the course talks about. Details. Consider the following guidelines as you begin problem solving. Okay? Identify yourself as a problem solver. That's really important. From the beginning, you have to realize this is what you're doing and this is what you're paid to do. Okay? This course is all business management, but you'll see that decisions can go in every aspect of your life, including family life. Recognize problems. Learn to recognize problems so that you see them developing and can act quickly to solve them. A dictionary defines problem as an unsettled question or source of distress or difficulty in an organization. Okay? A problem is an obstacle that stands in the way of achieving a desired goal. Understand that definition, especially for the quiz, guys. During the storm, we made a decision to evacuate because of great possibility of cars getting flooded. Good idea. Thank you for that. And some people did not. Some people made some decisions that may have cost them dearly. Okay? That doesn't mean they were wrong. That just means that they paid a higher price. Okay? Hopefully that wasn't lethal. Hopefully it was just maybe a vehicle. But you realize that there's a problem. The storm. There's a problem. That's step number one. How you stay safe and how you stay away, not having to lose things, it's probably the desired outcome. Okay. When you're systematic, you solve a problem. When you're systematic, you solve a problem in a methodical and organized manner. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that you're not just stipulating a solution out of your gut. You're having a solution from different methods that you've already planned, and you come with a conclusion. This is the first things you can learn about problem solving. This is why I can't teach you problem solving in a little essay, in a little assignment, in a little quiz. This is really the only way I could show you online problem solving, face to face, in this scenario, because I want to let you know that systematic problems takes reasoning and rational approaches. Okay. One systematic problem solving method is to adapt a solution from a prior problem. All of this course sounds like it's dull moments. Of course, that makes sense. But believe it or not, they're not as natural as you think they are. Problems are easy to find. Solutions are not. So this is what this course is trying to teach you. Systematic approaches to solving solutions, okay? So look at figure dash 1, basic problem solving, identify the problem, gather information, clarify the problem, consider problem solutions, select the best option, and make a decision. This is a method, okay? Tell me, guys, while you guys are out there, maybe Alexis, Andrea, or Samantha, what was one of the things that you feel like you could solve? What are some of the things you could solve easy? Some problems that just comes easy to you. Maybe we can kind of go back and forth in that. Decisions. Decisions are the choices you make when faced with a set of options or alternatives. Okay, so you don't have one thing to choose. You don't make decisions when there's only one course of action. There's nothing to be made. You just do it. You make decisions when you have alternatives to counter. Okay, understand that. All right, and a good decision maker overall will be probably a highly paid person because they're valued. They're absolutely valued. Okay, so let's go to the next. Look at what somebody said. Samantha, knowing what soda I want to drink. Okay, very, very good. So I guess that's your problem. You can quickly find a solution to. And in some sense, others may not be able to. Okay, so then we've got to the first objective 1. Now we're going to objective 2. Let's see if anybody else out there wants to. My current job isn't paying too much. It's paying much. I would like so that I can solve the problem by looking at a higher paying job. Okay, Andrea, that's a very, very fair question. And I feel like we can help you with that in this course, believe it or not, on how to make that decision. Jobs are a thing that students deal with quite a bit, whether it's looking for a job in the future once you have a degree or in a current job. So this is something hopefully this course can give you. Okay, what bills to pay first? Real good one, Karen. Real good one. When you have enough and you have plenty, that's good. But when you don't, what bills to pay first is a decision you have to make. It's not one you're proud of, but definitely you have to, right? It's funny because I'm in real estate, and the one thing I tell people, guys, whatever you do not pay your mortgage, because your mortgage not paying your mortgage can one day make you homeless, and that will be difficult. So remember that, decisions are made on alternatives. And yes, there's some items you have to get done, but being homeless is a very difficult situation. But you have to know those factors for you to make those decisions. Maybe they're even tougher decisions like that. But that's all about evaluating alternatives, guys. It's less gut intuition. Being homeless is an emotional issue, of course, but it's less important to make it through your gut and to make it with your head. Okay, look for deficiencies. First of all, this is what your next objective says: analyzing the problems. A problem is only a problem when you're aware of it. Most organizations have a constant stream of difficulties that they frequently overlook and ignore, mainly because of time and inertia. They kind of just go over, they glance information, and they just kind of keep going to the next thing, and they overlook deficiencies. Interview and gather data. Talk to people who are involved with the problem, work in the area. They have the data themselves. So in this case, if you wanted to know how to maybe save on your taxes, you would talk to tax accountant. not because they're accountants, but because they see it all the time. That's why you want to make sure you interview the right people. Observe as much as you can. You often learn the most about a problem through observation. You absolutely do. Keep your eye on it. Keep gathering that data. Ask what, not who, when gathering information. Focus on objective facts. Ask what, not who, investigating what you're looking for, because sometimes you don't even know what it is. Realizing what a problem is actually a big deal, believe it or not. And have a reality check. When you identify a suspected problem, ask yourself if it makes sense in light of the data you've collected. Have you been really doing this correctly? Does this make absolute sense? Step back, all your data analysis, and see if it makes sense. Karen says, very true, Professor. Thank you, Karen. And Alma says, sometimes it's hard to decide if I want to take my 2-year-old out to have fun or to use it to do schoolwork. That's pretty good, Alma. That's very, very good. I have a 4-year-old, and when she gets off school, I want her to learn a second language. So I think I could use this time to give her a good time, or I could use this time to teach her something new. So I try to vary it. That's my standard. I do about 3 days of homework and 2 days of going out, because there's no one extreme thing, Alma. There's not one solution. Though I believe, in my opinion, the wrong way would be to say you always need to do homework and you always need to go have fun, when we know that doesn't necessarily work. But it's all about outcomes too, Alma. It really is. All about outcomes. Which outcome do you want? Okay. So again, that was objective 2, and that was a good discussion, Alma. Thank you. That right there was a great sentence, Alma, and right there it would have given you the discussion credit for the next week, because it was just such a good statement. Okay. All right. So then we go chapter 3, working with problem owners and stakeholders. You have to realize, solicit input from problem owners. This book acts as if you are a consultant and you're not necessarily solving your own problem. You're solving someone else's problem. So when they say solicit input from the problem owners, you need to definitely get the data from them. Okay. Be careful with what you're doing as far as making decisions for them, because it's not for you to do. It acts as if you are doing it for someone else. Okay. So solicit input from the problem owners. Recognize opinions and assumptions that your problem owners, stakeholders, and other important people hold that are important. And communicate your progress clearly. Use email, memos, and any other method of information. It has been difficult to communicate between each other. Why? Because there's multiple students and we've been everywhere. And it's, some of you guys have been emailing me. I've tried to reply back correctly. Let me tell you, there's no easier way than this way. So keep this going, please. And anytime, try to communicate with the class knowing, so if you have a question, everybody else knows what's going on. Okay. Do your homework carefully, and I don't mean the homework for the course. It just says, establish credibility of your work and by pursuing each step systematically. Make sure you gather the data correctly. Provide choices. Whenever you're with the problem owner, make sure you provide alternatives for them. Because yes, you may have one solution, but what if that's not, and it's not enough for them? They want more. And promote your solution more than anything. Make sure you effectively promote your efforts and results of the problem owner. Okay, so that was the objective, and I believe we have just one more. Okay, and those out there who want to comment on the objective, go ahead and they can on WhatsApp. It'd be great to put in your input. So this last one is developing effective problem statements. Frame the problem from your audience by starting with a brief description. Yes, it's important to have descriptions, ideal situations, symptoms, size, and scope. So look at this figure. Make sure you have it. This may be important for the quiz. Briefly summarize the problem. Put it into small little pieces. Summarize what the situation is of the problem. Identify the symptom of the problem. And if you know the word symptom, sounds medical, but it's more than that. It's what the problem is manifesting itself. What are you seeing from it? describes the size and scope of the problem. Stakeholders and other interested people will try to assess how significant the problem is. Now, a stakeholder, you have to understand that, is anyone that has some interest on the problem itself. It's a business term. It could be the owner of the company, the client of the company, etc. Hey, we have one more. Look at that. Hopefully, and that last person can get some credit, and I'll make sure you do. Okay. Identify the consequences. Consequences is not necessarily a bad thing, guys. Consequences just means an outcome. I use the word consequences, and people may say, well, I like to get a great grade on my quiz, but I couldn't make it to the quiz review. Well, the consequence of that may show in your quiz. Consequence is not a bad thing. Maybe you couldn't make it. That's okay. It's just the outcome. Not necessarily see it as negative. The consequence of coming to this quiz review is that you actually get a good grade. You see, it's just an outcome. I try to make it sound bad and then sound good to show you that it doesn't matter. Okay. Explain any other research or investigation that you may pursue. Your problem statement is likely to be a work in process. So keep on adding, keep on subtracting, and keep moving forward. And that's it, guys. I see a thing. I'm a new business and office environment as a manager. So when I run into an issue and I ask my mother her input, she tells me a similar issue she has dealt with her input from it. Thank you, Alexis. Very good. That looks like you used the whole ask an expert because they've been there before. And it is part of your discussion grade. That's very good. A guaranteed good grade. It makes sense. All right, guys. Well, that's it for tonight for the video section. Please come to next week's discussion. You see, these people all got good discussion grades, 100 for this one. So even this one, I just got to put in the name, and then you get it too as well. Again, thank you for coming, and hopefully see you next week with a bigger amount of showing. Thank you.